Okay, Maggie, you should be good to go.
Okay, and am I able to see who's watching or no? I guess not. All right, I can't tell who's here, but I am assuming there are some people on the line. First of all, I'll take this time to thank the organizers of this event for allowing me to speak for a few minutes and talk to some girls in high school who are considering, I would assume, pursuing a career in engineering. Must say it's been a while since I've done a formal presentation in front of an audience, but I'm hoping my 4-H days will pull me through this one. I guess I will start by saying I am in Barbados, as you can see. Thankful, I guess, for COVID in a way, because being in Barbados, I am able to partake in a conference happening in Nova Scotia. A couple other things, I guess. I was able to write my P.Eng exam while I was here because it went virtual during COVID. I guess my best way of sharing with other girls who are looking to pursue a career in engineering is to share my story. It feels like yesterday that I was in high school trying to decide what to do, where to go. Should I go to university? Should I go to work? Should I go to college? It was 8 years ago, but it honestly feels like yesterday. So I missed the intro, but it was posted on the social media page that I am a civil engineer. This discipline to me is a little bit different than the other disciplines in engineering because it's not so much design based. Oh, here we go. Now I can see other people. All right, so it's not so much design based, especially where I work in general contracting. So I focus more on management. Communication is huge, and reading, understanding, and executing designs. So we get a set of plans. Here's how to build a road. We have to make it happen. So there's so many different ways that engineering can be so many different paths that you can go in engineering, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's not all design, and some disciplines there's more females, some there's less females. When I was in university, there was a handful of females in civil, but the whole entire chemical class was females. So I guess to backtrack a little bit of how I got onto the path of civil engineering, my grandfather, who I call Opa, and his brother owned a general contracting company in Cape Breton, where I grew up. It's now owned and operated by several of my aunts and uncles who are also civil engineers and technologists. My dad, my cousins, myself included, and a lot of people I grew up with work for the company as mechanics, foremen, operators, shovelers, whatever it may have been. So when I was about 15 years old, I got a call from my grandpa, and he asked if I would come weigh trucks. Sure. Not very good at saying no to this day. So 4:30 in the morning, my alarm went off, and I didn't have a driver's license. So one of the truck drivers who lived up the road from my parents picked me up. And let me tell you, I had a smile on my face from 4:30 that morning until I think it was like 3 weeks. We worked every single day. You couldn't wipe it off my face. So we were actually loading rocks onto a barge that would be shipped down south. And now we come full circle, and I'm working on a project in Barbados where all the stone came from Nova Scotia. I know this is a university-sponsored event, but I'm going to take just a minute to give praise to the path I chose. I chose to go to community college and do my technical diploma before my engineering, and this was awesome. This was hands-on. It was a great experience being one of a handful of girls in it. It was never an issue. We actually had some amazing female teachers, several of which are mentors to this day. Through the technical program at NSCC in Dartmouth, you were in a pile of rocks on day one. You were out in the field with survey equipment. It was a really great experience. It was 2 years, and it flew by. And it was kind of nice because it was a nice transition from high school to college to university, because the college program, different from university, it was very 8 to 4. We had classes straight through the day, kind of the same hours as high school. And that made it just a nice transition, because when you get to university, it's completely different. You're at class at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then you might have a class at 7:30 that evening. So I knew when I graduated from NSCC that I wanted to continue on. So I knew that I wanted to continue on and finish my degree. So from NSCC in Dartmouth, I went to Lakehead University in Thunder Bay. They offer a bridging program where you take, in the first summer between college and university, you take the technical and theoretical courses that you missed in your first 2 years as in civil technology. So your chemistry, your calculus, the prerequisite courses that are required to jump into third year of engineering. And then after that summer, you jump into your third year, and you have 2 to 3 years left, depending on how you load your courses. So 2 years in Lakehead, again, handful of girls. Don't discourage it for a second. It was awesome. We made a group of friends, girls, guys. It doesn't really matter. If you have your mind set on what you want to do, your mind is set and you make it work. So fast forward 2 years to graduation day. University's done. You move home. You've spent the last 2 to 4, 5 years with the same people. In my case, for 2 years, I lived with my 3 best friends. I went to every class with my 3 best friends. I partied with my 3 best friends. I did projects with my 3 best friends. We were together 24/7, but we're from 4 different provinces. So we wrote that last exam and went our separate ways. So there is a feeling of, what am I going to do next? You're lost, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is hard to transition from university to what's next. I'm still trying to figure out it, honestly. And that doesn't matter if you're male, if you're female. It is a big change. So shortly after graduation, I didn't have a job lined up, but I was able to go work for the family company. But I knew that working for the family company wasn't what I wanted to do at that time. I wanted to get away. I wanted to experience working outside of that. I didn't want to talk about what went on at work at Christmas dinner every single gathering. And so I dropped off resumes, and I highly recommend dropping off resumes anywhere and everywhere. And that's what I did. So I continued to work, and I was on the Cabot Trail. It was a beautiful summer. It was a great job. But Saturday morning, I got a call from someone at Dexter Construction offering me a position as a project coordinator, and I went into full panic mode. My parents were gone away. I landed on my uncle's couch, who was my current boss, at about 8 o'clock in the morning, basically to vent. So we both knew my mind was made up, and I was going to accept the offer from Dexter Construction. But he said something to me, and I will never forget it. So he said to me, I guess in kind of his little nerdy humor as a general contractor, said, never burn a bridge that you don't have the contract to rebuild. In other words, if I ever needed to go back, yes, I had a job. But that kind of stuck with me. So the following Monday, off I was to Lewisburg with Dexter Construction as a project coordinator, knowing nobody, with no idea where I was going, living in a camper trailer at a campground that I had never been, and I had no idea what to expect. I was greeted, welcomed, and it didn't matter that I was a female. It did not matter. So as a project coordinator, I guess if you haven't heard of what that is, you basically do a split between on-site and in the office. So you do scheduling, you do costing, you do job tracking, resource management. It is a mumble jumble of everything. But I think being a female as a project coordinator, we got the organization thing beat. So I started in Lewisburg. It was great. I was still trying to find, okay, like where am I going? What is happening? I need more than just going to work. So you went to university. You went to university. You studied all evening. You had hobbies or no hobbies, but school took up a lot of time. So now you go to work, you get home from work, and you don't have homework. So you need to find something. And I will watch for questions. You need to find something to fill that gap. I recommend finding one thing that you look forward to, one thing that passes some time. Especially in general contracting, you end up on the road a lot. So you might be in a hotel, you might be in a cottage. In my case, I was all over the place. And away all week, Monday to Friday, and then back to wherever I was calling home base at the time on Friday. So you needed something because you spent a lot of time alone. Because being the only girl, in most cases, you're not going to go out and party with the boys on Friday night, every Friday or every Thursday or whenever they go out. Yeah, go with them, go have supper, but you can't. You need to draw the line, and you need to keep it where you need to be. So in my case, I got a dog, and I walked that dog. I walked him before I went to work, and I walked him after I went to work. And he's a 10-pound poodle. He didn't need 2 hours of walks a day, but my head needed 2 hours of walks a day. So that's something that you need to, that one thing, whether it's to get a gym membership or get a dog, in my case, good excuse to get a dog, or join a class, join a art class, whatever would interest you outside of work, something to get your mind off it, a hobby, and something for you to make you feel good. But like I said, you are part of the team, and as a professional, you know your boundaries, you know your limits, and you're allowed to socialize. Go have fun. Go out for lunch on Thursday. Why not? You are part of the team, and the more you make yourself part of the team but keep it professional, the more respect you will gain. Where am I? So I started with Dexter, and I was on a project in Cape Breton for several years. It was about a year that I was there, and then I finally got to Halifax. I wanted to live in Halifax. I grew up in Cape Breton, but I wanted to live in Halifax. So finally got to Halifax, got on a project team. It was okay. It was fine, but the vibe was not there. It wasn't clicking. I would have been fine with it, but I knew I was gonna exhaust myself, and One of the most important things, I think, is being able to wake up in the morning, jump out of bed, and be excited to go to work. And I was losing that. So working for a big company, you do get a lot of opportunity. Clearly. Barbados. Can you hear the birds in the background? Anyways, before I got here, I was offered a position out of our office in Moncton. Never imagined going to Moncton. Crystal Palace a couple times in elementary school. That's what I knew of Moncton. Anyway, I went to Moncton for 2 weeks to help out during the busiest season, where I was greeted by a group of young, enthusiastic engineers, field people, you name it. They were awesome. I was to go there for 2 weeks, ended up there for 8, moved back to Halifax, and the following spring relocated there permanently. There's one other person that does the same job as me in our office, and she's also a girl. So we have a little bit of a power team, and it's really fun. But yeah, it's a great office. It's young. It's, like I said, enthusiastic. We have a great team and great spirits. So that's what you need. And that's my point is, if you're not happy with the first job you get, or the first project you're on, or exactly you thought, okay, I need to live in Halifax, and then you get there and you're not happy, don't worry about it. Move on. Like I was living in Halifax. That's all my head wanted. And I finally got there and I was like, not for me. I still love it. I love being a tourist in Halifax. But you need to remember that if you're not happy somewhere, or if you're feeling it's wearing you out, it's wearing on you, look for other options. Talk to people in your senior positions. Maybe there's something they can change for you. When you work for a large company like I do, if I'm on one project team and it's not working for me, well, there's lots of other project teams that need project coordinators. And that's the same in any discipline, I'm sure. Even in consulting. As a consulting engineer, you are on tons of different project teams, and maybe you enjoy one more than the other. So express your opinion, and don't let one bad experience ruin everything. Put your hat back on and keep your head up and move on. So I guess one more thing, okay, so Sophie has a question. How do you combine all the traveling with personal life? You make the most of every minute. So I've been in Barbados, and it is hard. I'm not going to say it's been easy. I have a partner. He's great. He's supportive. He knows when I'm happy, and he knows when I'm not happy. So supporting each other and knowing that you're happy, that's the most important thing to me. Traveling is hard. And if I had children, I probably wouldn't be in Barbados, because I've been here since March and home twice. But when you have an opportunity and you can say yes, yes, I miss my family. Yes, I miss my boyfriend. Yes, I miss my dog. Yes, I miss my brand new house that I've spent about a week in. But if you can say yes to an opportunity, say yes. When I finish this project, I will go back to Moncton, and I will probably never leave Moncton again. If I never get on an airplane, I will be happy, but I don't regret coming here. And traveling within New Brunswick, you work Monday to Friday, and you enjoy your weekends. You enjoy those days off. You hope you get off early on a Friday, and you enjoy it. So that's general contracting. There's lots of disciplines of engineering and civil engineering. that you don't need to travel. In consulting, you work less hours. So you find something that works for your life in the stage of your life. So right now, traveling works for me. In 3 or 4 years, traveling might not work for me. Working 65, 70 hours a week probably won't work for me. But right now it works. So to, I guess, in short, answer your question, you can choose your path based on where you are in your life. That's the wonderful thing about engineering. There's always options. Erin, you live in Moncton. Are you a high school student? So one other thing that I have learned, and this applies to anybody in this field, it's an industry of power. People will get power in their head, I guess is what I'm saying. Oh, that's awesome, Erin. And you're looking to take engineering, maybe? Somebody told me early on when I started with Dex, he said, there's no I, me, or my. It's not my project. It's not me in charge. It's not I'm going to build a road. It's we, us, and our. It's our team. It's us building the road. We're going to work late tonight. Not I'm going to work late or you're going to work late. We're going to work late. So that's one thing that's also stuck with me. And if you stay humble and you keep those few easy words, exactly, there's no I in team. So yeah, if you keep those few things in your head, you stay humble, you will be offered opportunities that will last a lifetime. And yeah, welcome to Barbados. I will never forget this one. And that is pretty much all I have. If you guys have any more questions. Oh, I can't hear you, Laura.
Sorry, my mic was off. I think we have to move on to our next.
Oh, perfect.